4 Los Angeles police officers will stand trial again in the beating of Rodney King. Food allergies, children, and a simple shot that could save lives. And Eye on America. Tonight, the perfect gift for today's bride and groom. Ain't what it used to be. This is the CBS Evening News. Good evening. I'm Connie Chung, sitting in tonight for Dan Rather. There will be another trial in the Rodney King beating case. 4 Los Angeles police officers acquitted the first time around have been indicted again, this time on federal charges. They're accused now of violating King's civil rights. Bill Lagatuda in Los Angeles has details.
According to the indictments today, Rodney King's race was not the issue. It was, says the federal government, a simple case of police abuse.
The defendants are charged with stomping, kicking, and beating Mr. King. Therefore, it was an unreasonable use of force.
That was the charge against officers Lawrence Powell, Timothy Wind, and Theodore Brazinho. Their sergeant, Stacy Kuhn, who never struck King, was indicted separately for not trying to stop the beating. When the state jury failed to convict the officers, this was the reaction. The worst urban riots in modern American history. Today's news stirred the city's passions again.
Beverly, how do we change this country and make it better if we stir it by getting rid of the constitutional guarantee of a fair trial? How does that make it a better country?
Well, you're right there. You're right there. I don't have an answer.
One part of the debate is whether the officers are being tried again simply because it is the politically correct thing to do. Even an attorney who often sues the police is concerned.
Indicting anybody for the same crime twice is an abomination. It's unfair. It's a perversion of the double jeopardy laws, and it never should be done in a democracy.
But in the city's black community, where people have felt victimized by police, there was a feeling of vindication.
I'm glad to see that it happened. Basically, those 4 officers just got away with, they got away with almost murder.
As for the officers themselves, only one reacted publicly, and he claimed to be the victim.
I still stand by the fact I didn't do anything wrong. I just did what I was supposed to do in that sort of situation.
But for the majority of Americans who think Powell and the others did do something wrong, a new trial will be a second chance at real justice, but it's a calculated risk. For if the officers are acquitted a second time, many think more of Los Angeles will end up looking like this. Bill Lagatuda, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A federal judge in New York today reduced the 10-year prison term of junk bond mastermind Michael Milken. Milken is now eligible for parole in 7 months, when he will have served 2 years on his fraud conviction. The judge called it a reward for Milken's cooperation with federal prosecutors on other cases. President Bush took his re-election campaign to New York today. He told a Catholic audience he'll stick to his anti-abortion position, even if it costs him the election. Mr. Bush also portrayed himself as the man to be America's moral leader.
And so I believe that a central issue of this election year should be, who do you trust to renew America's moral purpose? Who do you trust to fight for the ideas that will help rebuild our families and restore our fundamental values? I believe, and I've tried hard on this, I believe I've earned your trust, and I am committed to fighting for ideas that help repair this great nation's moral fiber.
Democrat Bill Clinton got back on the campaign bus today. He went looking for middle-class votes and first-class photo opportunities. Correspondent Richard Threlkeld is traveling with the candidate.
The Bill Clinton Roadshow played Mark Twain country today, an appearance in downtown Hannibal, Missouri, Twain's boyhood home, the perfect middle American campaign backdrop. But Clinton also offered some substance while talking to high school graduates in East St. Louis. He said it's time to get tough on Serbia for the violence in Yugoslavia.
Thank you so much for being here.
Clinton's bus travels are a blend of substance and constant images of him among mostly white middle-class crowds. Pictures the campaign treasures every bit as much as the candidate's words. The message is, I'm one of you. The Democrats are finally practicing a lesson they learned the hard way from George Bush 4 years ago and Ronald Reagan before that.
I think they have taken a page out of the Republican book, particularly the Reagan book, and seen how successful it was and how important it is to the television viewer.
Clinton could probably win this part of the country without campaigning here. Most of the states he's visiting this week voted Democratic 4 years ago. But it's a perfect TV backdrop for the voters he's really courting, the Reagan Democrats from Seattle to Miami.
Now notice where Bill Clinton isn't appearing in this tour. He isn't appearing in large labor halls. He isn't appearing in universities. He isn't speaking to large groups of what one would traditionally now call the Democratic special interest.
Critics say both parties should be ashamed of themselves for being so preoccupied with their images. Perhaps, but then Mark Twain was probably thinking of politicians when he observed, "Man is the only animal that blushes, or needs to." Richard Threlkeld, CBS News, Hannibal, Missouri.
Another member of Congress is making plans for retirement. Guy Vanderjagt of Michigan, a 13-term veteran of the House, lost a primary election yesterday. For 10 years, Vanderjagt has been chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee. In California today, insurance officials claim they've taken the air out of one of the costliest rackets going. Staged, fraudulent, and sometimes fatal car wrecks. Cindy Kennard has the story.
The 4 men arrested this morning are said to have become millionaires by staging phony accidents, then filing false insurance claims. 2 of those caught in the undercover operation are lawyers.
We have pierced the top echelon of a staged auto accident ring, a ring that cost insurance companies tens of millions of dollars.
Officials said one of the men arrested with the attorneys may have staged more than 600 accidents himself. Often they were scripted in advance. Investigators say they have recovered hundreds of such drawings.
He's saying he's going to hit me.
No, you hit him.
Here, a hidden camera shows a staged minor rear-end accident. Then, unhappy with the first collision, they do it again, later filing 5 bodily injury claims. In this case, one of the cars was driven by an undercover agent, and the suspects went to prison.
This is just about as profitable as dealing drugs and a heck of a lot less dangerous.
That's not always true. Some of the staged accidents have taken a different twist, like this one where the suspect was killed when he slammed on his brakes in front of a truck. 2 books, including a bestseller, have recently been written on the subject. One of them, a true story, in which a grieving mother claims her daughter was murdered when she was about to go to the police.
It's estimated up to 50 cents on each dollar being paid out on insurance claims in California cover fraud, and consumers are bearing the brunt, being charged some of the highest insurance rates in the country. Cindy Kennard, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Still to come on the CBS Evening News, Iraq is back and outlasting UN sanctions. And hoops around the world, the Dream Team launches Global Basket Mania.
2 a.m., 36 Pine Street. Apartment 4C has a backache and can't sleep. 3C overdid her afternoon workout and is paying the price. 2C had an aching back, but fortunately, she also has Tylenol PM, with extra-strength Tylenol pain reliever, plus a gentle ingredient to help her sleep. And a good night's sleep was all she needed to make her day a whole lot brighter. Tylenol PM, so you can rest easy.
At Red Lobster, it's going, and soon to be gone. Our full pound of shrimp special. Whoops, overflowing your plate. A full pound of shrimp. There's so much, you may need a doggy bag. At Red Lobster.
Red Lobster's perfect for lunch. Now with our $4.99 special. Golden fried shrimp and grilled chicken breast. Plus potato and salad, just $4.99.
So hurry
to Red Lobster for lunch every day. Sunday, too.
In South Africa today, the African National Congress ended a 2-day general strike with a massive demonstration in Pretoria. Nelson Mandela led 100,000 marchers to the steps of the government building. The ANC is demanding that President F.W. de Klerk yield power to a multiracial interim government by the end of the year. In Bosnia, people scrambled for cover as Muslim and Serbian forces waged all-out war in the hills around Sarajevo. The UN relief airlift is suspended because of the fighting, and UN peacekeepers say they may have to pull out completely. The Bush administration is now calling on the UN Human Rights Commission to investigate alleged war crimes in the former Yugoslav Republic. 2 years after Saddam Hussein's invasion of Kuwait, a leading military publication said today that Iraq has the strength to do it again. Jane's Defense Weekly says the Iraqi army is back up to 400,000 men. The Iraqi economy is also bouncing back despite international sanctions. CBS News correspondent Alan Pizzi has that story from Baghdad.
The war turned Iraqi industry into a scrap heap. Sanctions are supposed to keep it that way. Instead, they have ignited a fervor of patriotism and inventiveness that may enable Saddam Hussein to defy the embargo for years.
We've been trained and educated to depend on ourselves. And that was the fruit of that training and education is this reconstruction work. And if we don't depend on ourselves, nobody will help us.
The bombing of what Baghdad called a baby milk factory was Iraq's chosen symbol of Western evil. By the end of the year, it will be rebuilt with recycled bits and pieces. Reconstruction is paid for in part with oil. Refined products and crude oil are being sold in defiance of the UN embargo. The market is Turkey. Diplomatic sources here say specially modified trucks carry oil through northern Iraq into Turkey with the help of Kurds who oppose Baghdad but make money by taxing the loads.
It's definitely a breach of sanctions. The amounts going through are fairly small, and I think that's one of the reasons why they haven't been stopped. But we're talking between 30 and 50,000 barrels a day.
Even that earns Saddam Hussein revenue estimated at millions of dollars a day. And the Iraqis have found a way around the embargo on heavy construction equipment. The government has seized an estimated $1.5 billion worth of machinery and spare parts left by foreign contractors who fled before the war. Peasant farmers have been given huge incentives to grow more food, and this year is expected to be a bumper crop. Homegrown fertilizers to replace imports are being developed by American-trained agriculturalists.
We do get positive results from this action. Today's world is you have to survive, and to survive you have to fight for it.
Sanctions are turning ordinary Iraqis against the West, which means they are on Saddam's side even if they hate him. The assessment here is that Iraq could hold out against sanctions for another 3 years, and diplomats say Western businessmen are already setting up deals in anticipation of the embargo crumbling before Saddam does. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, Baghdad.
Stay with us now for more of the CBS Evening News. Coming up, a report on children, how the foods they love can land them in the emergency room.
Ordinary pickles are cooked, and most don't snap. Not Claussen. They're packed fresh and stored cold, so they're always crisp and delicious. Taste the difference. Cold, crisp, Claussen.
Doctor.
Is it right for me?
Habitrol. It's a patch.
You know the patch? Habitrol. You know, Habitrol.
It's a patch. Habitrol.
Habitrol.
Habitrol Nicotine Transdermal System. Available by prescription only.
Thank you, doctor.
Some days my minor arthritis acts up, and I really feel the pain. I used to take aspirin. Now I've switched to Advil. Advil relieves the pain in my stiff joints. In fact, 1 Advil is as effective as 2 regular aspirin. And Advil is gentler to my stomach. Maybe that's why doctors recommend Advil for minor arthritis pain more than any other brand. For my pain, I simply prefer Advil. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Introducing the new Jeep. With an all-new 4-wheel drive system and exclusive standard driver's side airbag. No other vehicle gives you so much latitude.
Who will keep Marissa, her father, his estranged wife, or the surrogate mother? Whose baby is it? Find out on 48 Hours tonight.
The Atlantis astronauts have fixed their latest problem, though their main experiment has been scratched. They cleared the jammed tether hooked up to the satellite deployed last night. The astronauts are now reeling the satellite back in to stow aboard the shuttle. The plan to extend the tether 12 miles into space has been abandoned. A new study out tonight highlights a growing health hazard for children. Giselle Fernandez reports how their favorite foods can bring instant danger.
Carly Baker is a normal, healthy young girl, but she has to stay away from some foods that children love most, like peanut butter sandwiches. Even one bite could kill her.
If I even touch it, smell it, eat it, anything that I can break out, I was born with it, and I can't have it. And it will never go away.
About 6 million kids suffer from food allergies, and some can be deadly. Carly had a close call when she was barely a year old. After a violent reaction to peanut butter, her mother rushed her to the hospital.
She started getting red hives all over her face, and they gradually turned purple, and we knew something was terribly wrong. And in the car, she actually was having problems breathing. So we got there just in time for them to give her a shot and stop the reaction.
But that shot, a drug called epinephrine, is not being used enough. According to a new study in the New England Journal of Medicine, a simple injection of the drug could save the lives of half the children who die from severe food allergies.
The big issue is that parents have to realize these reactions can be very severe, and I think physicians need to arm these patients with the appropriate medications.
And better education about what's in the foods we eat. Kids are most allergic to eggs, dairy products, and nuts, ingredients often used in cakes and candies. Parents and children who don't read labels can be unaware of the dangers.
It's really scary for a little toddler who can't. I mean, since she was 2, she was able to say to people, I'm allergic to these things. And that's just something we had to teach her before she could say choo-choo.
Experts predict more children will suffer from near-fatal allergic reactions to food, particularly as new additives continue to be used in processed goods. They call on parents, teachers, and doctors to be more vigilant about a problem they say could be so easily prevented. Giselle Fernandez, CBS News, New York.
There's more CBS News ahead, including Eye on America. Tonight, the perfect gift for the modern bride. Glassware or hardware?
It may surprise you to learn who, over 30 years ago, was the first car maker to build cars with seat belts, to make safety glass standard, the first U.S. car maker to offer anti-lock brakes, and who today offers more models with dual airbags than any other manufacturer. That company is Ford Motor Company.
We're committed to making safety innovation an important part of quality.
Ford Motor Company. Quality is job one. It's working.
You've been dieting with a very special day in mind, which could mean you're not getting your daily amount of protein, because many foods that provide protein are also high in fat. But not this one. Kellogg's Special K, the only cereal that's fat-free and a good source of protein. So make Special K part of your future plans and get into that dress you've been dying to wear. Kellogg's Special K. Get the protein, lose the fat.
Either you give your customers reliable service or somebody else will.
We chose AT&T because our 800 service is our front door. If it shuts down, we shut down.
AT&T has the most reliable 800 service. It's guaranteed by the 800 assurance policy, and it's designed so that more calls get through.
To us, a single 800 call could be worth thousands of dollars.
When you consider that every call is a customer, why would you want anything less than AT&T?
AT&T 800 service, because every call is a customer.
Your kids are sneezing and wheezing. Sounds like allergies. Could the food you're giving them be dangerous to their health? You bet it could. Food Facts tomorrow on CBS This Morning.
The U.S. women's basketball team lost its bid for an Olympic gold medal in Barcelona today, upset by the unified team from the former Soviet Union. The U.S. men are still unbeaten. But as Mark Phillips reports, the NBA superstars are out for more than a medal.
Not far from where Magic and Michael and the rest are going for their gold, Miguel is going for his. This is a basketball camp in a Barcelona suburb.
Magic for 3, yes.
And this, of course, is the Dream Team, whose declared purpose is to win back U.S. basketball honor. But it's here for another purpose as well. It's taking care of business.
The defining issue for us has always been that to make basketball the #1 sport in the world.
Basketball is already big here. The Spanish paid $10 million to put the American pros on TV. In fact, the NBA has sold TV rights in 90 countries. They even have their own expression for it here.
And people said, wow, there's people like Michael Jordan. What is this? We have never seen things like this. And they said, we have to see it, we have to buy it.
And America wants to sell it. Sell the shoes, sell the balls, sell the game, sell the players.
I love you.
Magic can't walk little Magic without being hounded. Coming to Barcelona has only increased their value. Their inevitable victory will be seen in more than 170 countries. Talk about marketing. And this is the market. Who's your favorite player?
Oh, Michael Jordan.
Why?
Oh, because I think she is perfect.
A lot of kids here might want to be like Mike or Miguel, but thus far, unlike TVs or cars or stereos, NBA basketball players are one American product the Europeans and Asians haven't been able to produce cheaper or better.
We think we have a great American product, and we would like to market it on a global basis with as much class and success as we possibly can.
And profit.
And some profit.
Yes, there is gold at stake here, Olympic gold and the other kind. Mark Phillips, CBS News, Barcelona.
Suddenly, vitamins are all over the news.
Fact is, 2 out of 3 adults don't get all that's recommended in their diets.
2 out of 3?
Wonder if I'm getting the vitamins I should.
There is a cereal, though, that has 100% of 10 essential vitamins. Whole Grain Total.
Of course.
Just one bowl gives you a full day's allowance of these vitamins. Total. One bowl, 100%.
With all the vitamin news, I'm eating Total.
Of course.
65 years ago, Sears introduced Craftsman tools to America. And during this anniversary sale, get a Craftsman 16-gallon wet dry vac. Sears' most powerful, only $99.99. Plus hundreds of other great values now at Sears.
In art, taste is subjective, but in life, good taste is well defined. Fancy Feast gourmet cat food, exceptionally moist and delicious. Fancy Feast. Good taste is easy to recognize.
I teach archery, so I always have to hit my target. Thanks to the always-on-target Hearts 2-in-1 team, ridding bow of fleas and ticks is easy and just as accurate. First, use Hearts 2-in-1 Rid Flea Shampoo. It kills fleas and ticks, leaving him really clean. Then a Hearts 2-in-1 collar for up to 5 months of long-lasting protection. The Hearts team, 2-in-1 Rid Flea Shampoo and the 2-in-1 collar. Targets and kills your pet's fleas and ticks. They really work. Hearts, everything good for your pet.
You could ease up a little.
Table for 2 in about 5 minutes. Mr. Douglas, I have your table.
But you're not gonna. You could stop being a perfectionist. But you're not gonna. You're not gonna change because of heartburn, and you don't have to. There's something new that's like no ordinary antacid. New Maalox Heartburn Relief. It stops the burning and helps keep it from coming back. So get on with life like you're gonna live it. New Maalox Heartburn Relief is made for you.
The honor of your presence is requested now at a modern American wedding. Of course, you wouldn't show up empty-handed. But what to give the bride of the 90s? Practically anything, you say? Anything practical, she says. Erin Hayes reports tonight's Eye on America.
Looking good. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married.
There is a tradition that goes with weddings called the registry. When brides register for the gifts they'd like most. Traditionally, they mostly like things they would never, ever buy for themselves. Romantic things, impractical, expensive, as in the recent movie hit.
You have received another lovely, too good to be true silver tea set.
But there is a change underway. Many of today's brides are yearning for something different, like
bird feeders, the ones that squirrels can't hook onto.
Things for closets, somewhere to put your jewelry and all that kind of stuff.
Really different gifts.
This is great.
Power tools.
And flashlights and different kinds of shovels and the lawnmowers and drills. Drills are on all of them too.
What's going on?
Welcome to the 90s, Mr.
Brides of the 90s are getting down to basics, that's what. Forget the crystal goblets. This season, brides are registering for everything from closet organizers to cow manure.
So we'll put down a trowel.
Stores that never gave brides a moment's thought have taken a second look at the money folks will fork over for newlyweds' china patterns.
The pattern is Monet, and it is $67.50 a place setting.
And decided there is money in the bridal business. Home Depot, a home improvement warehouse, started registering Miami brides in January.
Well, here's one you don't usually see on a bridal registry: toilet, bipolar.
Patty Suarez and her husband-to-be want to fix up an old house, so this rather inelegant do-it-yourself registry is perfect. She's signing up for a staple gun, a new mirror for the bathroom, and yes, a toilet.
We're remodeling the bathroom, so we're going to ask for one of the toilets.
Everybody started tightening up on their wallets, and they started thinking of things that they needed more practical instead of spending the money on the china that they'll use once a year versus the lawnmower that they'll use every week.
So maybe 3 of those.
Kathy King and her fiancé want a garden in their Atlanta home. So she registered for shrubbery, garden tools.
And do you all have fish?
Even a goldfish pond.
I think it's fun. I mean, I want to take advantage of this time where I'm engaged and being able to look for things that I'm going to get use out of in the future.
It's bold, but is it, well, right? Etiquette columnist Miss Manners says, sure, as long as some decorum is maintained.
A wedding guest should not be asked to buy anybody anything. If you press someone and say, what do you really want? And the bride blushes and looks down and says, a pile of manure. Fine, she answered your question, and you get her a pile of manure.
But some are going one step further, like Sharon Coleman of New York. For what goes into a home, she's set.
Very well set. And I have 3 sets that are still not here.
Packed away?
Packed away at my mother's house.
Only one thing missing, a house. So she and her fiancé registered with
Auburn National Mortgage.
That's right. They've invited their wedding guests to help with their mortgage.
Not that we'll get the entire down payment, but that we'll get a portion of it, and it'll just help us on the way.
I mean, think of it. Aunt Tilly and Uncle Joe walk into that home after that bride and groom purchase it, and they can look around and say, I contributed to this.
But for Miss Manners, that's one step too far.
What makes people think, even in the throes of love, that other people are so moved by their successful romance that they wish to buy them a house?
But plenty are willing to sign on to this new trend. How far will it go?
Why don't we just charge people? That way we can make money on the wedding.
So far, no one has proposed that. In Miami, this is Erin Hayes for Eye on America.
And that's our news. Coming up on 48 Hours, a battle over a baby involving a father, his estranged wife, and a surrogate mother. Whose baby is it? Find out on 48 Hours with Dan Rather tonight at 10, 9 Central Time. I'm Connie Chung. I'll see you again tomorrow night. Thank you for joining us and for all of us at CBS News. Good night.
Experience CBS News.
School's out. It's summer vacation, right? Not for these kids. For them, school's in and summer vacation's out.
We felt like this gives us the opportunity to save the dollars, but also have a better delivery of education.
Year-round schools. Are you ready? Eye on America tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
The people of CBS News. Dan Rather,
Connie Chung,
Mike Wallace,
Ed Bradley,
Leslie Stahl,
and Charles Gerald. Experience
CBS News.
This is CBS.
Next on Hard